What could possibly drive a 14-year-old to actually unalive his own schoolmate? This shocking story and horrific case just happened in Malaysia's Selangor on October 14, 2025, when a 14-year-old Form 2 male student actually unalived a 16-year-old female student who is Form 4. The fatal incident happened on October 14, 2025 at the SMK Bandar Utama Damansara, a secondary school in Petaling Jaya, Selangor, Malaysia. The victim is 16-year-old female student Yep Sin Shen, described as a cheerful girl and active in activities such as volleyball. She sustained multiple poke wounds to the chest, neck and body. Sorry for lack of a better word. It was initially alleged that she suffered more than 50 poke wounds, but confirmed that she suffered numerous poke wounds, leading to her being unalive at the scene in a female toilet cubicle, and the wounds indicated deliberate intent to unalive. The alleged suspect is a 14-year-old male student in Form 2 who is quiet and introverted per the father's description, has no prior disciplinary issues. He wore black gloves during the fatal incident, using sharp objects that he purchased online beforehand. 3 sharp objects have been recovered at the scene by the authorities, though initial reports stated it at 2. Recent police conference have showed the pictures at 3 sharp objects, with the main sharp object used being described as 30 centimeters in length. So we have the alleged detailed timeline here, as the case is still breaking and under investigations. More details will come to light after investigations have been concluded. It started on the night before the fatal incident on October 13, 2025, when the suspect, the 14-year-old boy, confessed romantic feelings to the victim. It is not known how this method of communication was done, but the only context we know is that the victim rejected the suspect. Next morning on October 14, 2025, around 9 to 10 a.m. during school, the suspect excused himself from class, followed the victim, Ye Xing Xuan, to the female toilet where he cornered her in the cubicle, allegedly also held her hostage, and, sorry once again for the lack of a better word, poked her repeatedly amid her screams. The victim's friend alerted the discipline teacher, and the discipline teacher rushed into the toilet, kicked down the cubicle door, where the suspect then fled while started roaming the school grounds in bloodied uniform with the sharp object in his hand. And there is a viral 9 seconds video here where it can be seen the suspect is casually walking about in school and drinking water as if nothing happened. The suspect also entered classrooms, chased students, yelling, "I have unalived someone," causing panic and chaos as students were fleeing and locking doors to prevent him from entering. Finally, the suspect's elder brother, who studies in the same school, and teachers managed to restrain the suspect. Police were then called at around 9:40 a.m, arrived within 30 to 40 minutes, arrested the suspect on site, and the sharp objects were seized. The post-mortem of the victim's body have been concluded on the evening of October 14, 2025. Now on October 15, 2025, the suspect is remanded 7 days at the Petaling Jaya Police HQ, and authorities have taken statements from 57 witnesses and possibly even more. And there have been several press conference updates. As we have mentioned again, this is a developing story with investigations still ongoing. Now, it is very important to note that could the victim, Ye Xing Xuan, possibly done anything? Were there any warning signs that she was in danger? It was later revealed that there are no prior direct relationship between the suspect and the victim, Ye Xing Xuan, and even possibly there might have been zero communications before the suspect confessed his feelings to the victim. This might be a case where the suspect harbored unspoken romantic feelings towards the victim, while the victim was not aware of these feelings, while even possibly never even had any interaction with the suspect before the night of his confession. It is also important to note that the authorities have claimed that there is a handwritten note that was found on the suspect when they arrested him. This alleged picture of the written note here, authorities have shared with us that the written note contains many scribblings in different languages and even drawings, as they claim. With this alleged picture of this handwritten note two-sided, we like to point out that this alleged handwritten note is pretty important. It helps to paint the current mental state of the suspect. Was he purely driven by rejection that he chose to unalive his schoolmate that possibly had never had any interactions with him ever before until the night of his confession? This alleged picture of the note, starting at the top, written in Chinese, translated to English, it says, "I am justice, I am the hope for mankind, and I will become the God of the new world." Some people have taken note that this quote itself seems to be making reference to a certain popular manga. It is also followed by lines here that says, "So what of the NPCs? I've won in total completeness." That's right, it's me, I've won. And there's also a line here that says, "I am not at fault, the fault is with this world." And near the middle of the page, on the first page, there is this line here in Chinese that says, "I love you, Xing Xuan," which is the name of the female victim. Followed by a line saying in Chinese, "I will leave this world together with you." And on the second page of the handwritten note, the alleged handwritten note, in big words is written there, "You are all going to be unalive." The English word there, 0 day. Netizens have been quick to point out also, 0 day could mean like a countdown timer, where at 0 day or 0 hour, you put your action into plan. It is also a reference to certain online game modes in certain online game platforms where they have a map called 0 day that depicts certain. And on the second page, it's ended off with this line that's translated in English says, "Society and school, everyone are just NPCs." People have noted that some of the quotes written in this alleged note seems to make reference to a very popular certain style of manga. And with the mentioning of NPCs, it is a genre of anime or manga in the isekai that is growing popular in recent years, usually believe that they have the ability to have countless continues or countless lives, and they're the main character of a video games, and as such most characters around them are all NPCs, referring to non-player characters. Could the suspect have been so disillusioned that he couldn't tell reality from fantasy at this stage? Just like in the isekai genre, basically you're a main character in a video game setting, surrounded by NPCs, non-player characters. And this kind of disillusion or unawareness of reality itself could have distraught consequences. Also in this alleged note was a line in English with a list of names and location that actually depicts a series of past events that happened, consisting of fatal incidents in school. I shan't be going in depth on this line, but it is really highly disturbing and alarming to see this line in this alleged handwritten note by the suspect, along with lines where he claims he is in a setting surrounded by NPCs, and he also claims that everyone is wrong, he's the one that's correct, and he will become the god of this new world. The suspect is now pending psychiatric evaluation, and his motive is not fully established yet. He's currently under investigations under Section 302 for unaliving someone. The penalties would consist of the capital punishment or 30 to 40 years jail with a minimum 12 cane strokes as The minimum age of criminal responsibility is 10. Selangor Police Chief once again reiterate this was a case of the suspect having unspoken feelings and emotional factors that push him into this state. Also mentioning that psychiatric evaluation has been planned and investigations are still ongoing. Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim blames unchecked social media and mobile use and has prompted the cabinet to tighten measures. The victim's elder sister posted on October 15 over the sudden loss of her younger sister and wishes for peace and justice. The victim's mother left a statement claiming that she will always love and miss her daughter. And the suspect's family, the father, said that his heart is shattered. Nothing can bring their daughter back, the victim, and he doesn't know how to face them. He was shocked at his own son's action and didn't believe that his son was capable of such. He even claimed that there were no warning signs, and on the day of the incident, he dropped off his son at school as usual and didn't note anything to be any different. There is now growing concerns in Malaysia after a series of shocking incidents in school, such as on October 13, 2025, where 4 male students are expelled and remanded for alleged group explicit misconduct towards a 15-year-old Form 3 girl at a Malacca secondary school. And also on July 2025, when 13-year-old Zara was unalive after alleged assault by schoolmates at a Sabah boarding school, sparking protests. There are now calls for tighter school security, increased parental school responsibility, and also increased social media controls. This tragic incident underscores the need for improved mental health support in schools for the youth of our generation. Our thoughts, prayers and condolences to the victim, Ye Xing Xuan, and her family and her loved ones. Ken Lim, 61-year-old music producer, happened. Ken Lim asked the victim to him. After the first he requested a more passionate one, and Ken Lim asked the victim if she would perform